1-0, go.
Thanks for joining another episode of Playing the Artist, a weekly web show where me and my co-host Alex. That sounds like I run the thing. I really don't. You do most of the button pushing. A weekly show where two people, self-employed. One half self-employed.
We're just varying degrees of employed on this show.
Varying degrees of employed.
We're neither employed nor unemployed.
Yeah, I'm a full-time. What are you? Self-employed, full-time self-employed, and Alex is in the process of hopefully being full-time self-employed. I don't know why I paused so long on all of those words, but how are you, sir?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. Actually, I'm just recovering from like some mild food poisoning I had on Sunday. It was rough. I threw up.
Was it what Sam made?
Yeah, I think it might have been.
Oh no. I said it looked good and she did a good job.
Well, there was I don't know which meal. I guess she probably shared both of them on Instagram, but we've been going crab fishing just about every weekend, and this summer, and we finally caught a crab and took it home, and I'm pretty sure that's what did me in.
You guys might not have cleaned it right. You might have ate a belly full of poop.
Oh, I might have. The thing is, she is fine, but it was just me that got the nasty. But you know, I'm. What makes me think it's food poisoning is because like while I was sick, I couldn't get images of the crab food, which was tasty as I was eating it at the time. But it just was like, it was all I could think about for some reason, and it was just making me feel terrible. So anyway, I'm finally feeling better.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
3D printed this thing. Look at this crazy thing.
Crazy. Looks like Batman would hang out there.
And now it's nice right here. It doesn't look shitty. It looks like it's one piece. And I'm happy.
I like that. I like that somebody someday is going to step on this thing and
I know they're going to fucking
freak
die.
out. Yeah.
I think I might leave a disclaimer saying like, careful, you might impale yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe put a little bit of humor in it and say like you might open a portal to a different dimension.
Yeah.
Or something.
It's cool, man. So is that the piece you remodeled? That you said you were going to go back and...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it's seam, right? It's hard to see because it's all in black, though.
No, wow.
Prime it or something.
What are you talking about? You can see right here.
I know I see, but I mean, like, I also don't see.
I didn't see that.
That's black. It's black as heck.
Black.
It's cool,
I did a lot of 3D printing. I did a lot of painting. I painted more than that, probably like five miniatures. I'm gonna do some more painting today and some more 3D printing. I'm almost done painting the miniatures. I just have to do the basing for my beholder, and then finish up one WizKid model, and then that's it for miniatures. And I don't need any more miniatures for this campaign for display purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, fucking yeah. I got bummed out. Okay, we're gonna go into this. I got a little bummed out because I wanted all the emails and I didn't get all the emails, but I got one or two emails.
What do you mean all the emails from where?
Well, I've been I made a couple models to like help promote my mailing list.
Your freebie, sign up, get a free model kind of models, right?
Yeah. But so I like advertised these other models that were like not as cool as the ones that I'm giving out, and I put it on Thingiverse, and I was like, oh boy, I'm gonna get like 100 emails, and that wasn't the case.
Oh, how many did you get?
I'm at almost 140, I think. Last time I checked, 139.
Oh,
138. Okay. Nope, sorry, 139 actually. So yeah.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
I should just quit being a big baby and just be thankful. Be thankful that I actually have a mailing list. So
yeah.
If this was like Instagram and I was getting like 2 followers a day, or like 2 to 4 followers a day, I'd be like over the moon. And I should be more over the moon when it comes to these emails. You know what I mean? So I'm grateful. But I got bummed out, but then I got slowly reminded where it's like, listen, Antoine, you've only been doing this for like a year, so chill out. You just started the emailing list literally last week, so
yeah, that's a good.
I should
It'll take time, I mean,
yeah, it does.
It's just getting it into like a rhythm it's already what's important, and now that you have a mailing list, there's also like using it, like mailing people.
Yeah.
What is the content that's going to be in that mailing list?
I suppose so.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that's important to do.
What's important?
Like, the mailing list. It's like the thing is, I've been going to, I come here every week. We chat about mailing lists. Every time I see you, basically
It's only been a week. It's only been a week.
And Sam and Pete are, they were always harping on the mailing list. And then I walk away and I go back to YouTube. I've been watching this guy Gary V. I think I sent you one of his videos. Have you seen?
I've seen a lot of Gary V videos. So I opened up and I was like listening to it. I was like, I don't really care right now. I'm sure he has a bunch of port stuff right now, but it's just like I got work to do. I got to focus.
Oh, okay.
And also, I find him kind of annoying.
I just like to listen. Like, he's sort of like Seth Godin, right? He's just got a lot of advice.
But I think Seth Godin,
Seth Godin's like a bit more of an artist.
Yeah,
and Gary Vee is a bit more of like a
he
business
uses
guy.
hype all the time. He uses hype, and I also he would take pictures of like famous people, and like pose in front of it and like make like a mean look, like almost like I'm badass with this badass rapper kind of look, or this badass athlete. He like makes like he's like fucking tough look face kind of thing, and you can see that on his Instagram. And I saw that, I was like, this is gross. Stop that. Quit doing that. No, Gary Vee's he says a lot of important things that are very like, yeah, cool, that are good for like, I guess, young people to hear and stuff like that. But I think well, you know what? I have learned one thing that's really important from Gary Vee, and he was saying that he's told a story about when he would work at his father's wine business, right?
Yeah.
And it was on Christmas Day. I'm pretty sure Christmas Day. And there was this person that didn't get their order of wine or something like that. So he took it upon himself to like drive out, like it was like an hour or 2 hour drive, like somewhere out of like wherever he's from, like New Jersey or New York or something. And he took this wine that he got the order, whatever. He got to this old lady's house, and it's like not even that expensive wine. It's like, it was like 3 bottles of $10 bottles of wine, so $30, like an order of $30, right? And he drives out 2 hours to get this wine to this old lady, and he gets to the door, and the lady's like, "Oh, great, you're here, thanks. Okay, bye." And they just like, that's it, like that, just like, okay, yeah, just like it was Christmas. Didn't even put a little bit of like, sugar on a compliment. You know what I mean? It was just very like bone dry, like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. See you later. And he like, Christmas Day drove out 2 hours, and he didn't have to do that. And he technically lost money, but he said that attitude is important, because if you do that to everybody, then sooner or later a reputation happens where it's like, this person is a good person. And then word to mouth travels, where it's like, this person is an awesome person because he did this thing. And what's going to happen is sometimes, you're going to get that old lady with that $30 order of wine, and you have to travel through the snow on Christmas Day, and you deliver it, and she's going to be like, yeah, okay, thanks, later, and then just peace out and never see that person again. That person might not even be probably might not buy wine from you ever again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's important to keep that attitude, because you never know when, when that person will genuinely be grateful of like you doing what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. For all they know, that old lady was still bitter that the order got messed up in the first place, you know?
Yeah. And he also said like he hates people that are like Steve Jobs being an asshole, because apparently there's like a story about Steve Jobs being an asshole, right?
Yeah.
He was saying like that's a stupid way to run a business, and I also agree with that. It's like you want to be kind to your employees, you want to be kind to your people that you're working with, and you want to hopefully push them into a direction where they can be great as well.
Yeah, empower your employees, right?
Yeah, and then like two things that can happen: either they say like, "Oh, I'm going to go off on my own and do my own thing," or B, I'm going to stay with the company and make it even a bigger, better thing, instead of just being,
Mm-hmm.
I work at so and so incorporated, and the boss is an asshole, but the payment's nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, he takes it a step further, I think, than a lot of people, where it's like usually it's business first, whatever is good for business. But he like was saying that he really wants to like not just empower his employees and stuff, and like that's the first priority, and then any productivity gains he gets after doing that is like that's the order that he treats it.
Yeah, but he also has a lot of buzzwords like you gotta hustle and stuff, and like you gotta sell the product, you gotta push and every day. It's just like, I'm just like, oh, get out of my face. Just tell me, like, I don't know. I like Seth Godin.
I guess I haven't listened to that much yet.
I don't know. I was on a little bit of
I think everybody is
bender.
If you listen to anybody long enough, there's like a few go-to words.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know. Just hearing that, like, hustle hard, work. It's like, stop it already. I get it. But the Seth Godin, I really admire him because he talks more about. He breaks down more of like the idea of like how people think and how people perceive things. And I think that's super important. Seth Godin's lectures and books and stuff like that, because you start to see patterns, and then you're like, I wonder if I can match up that pattern with this pattern. You know what I mean? Then you start kind of get like building blocks, and you can kind of like be like, oh, okay, I see what's kind of going on here, and I see what people are trying to do here, kind of thing. And you're kind of like a little bit of a trickster in a weird way when you read a Seth Godin book. I feel like where it's like he kind of pulls the curtain, and you know what I mean. It's kind of like the Wizard of Oz, right? There's just a dude behind a curtain that's just pulling levers, and he's just running the show. Yeah. That's all it is, and he kind of shows that a bit. And he gives examples of like people that are selling certain things and whatnot.
Yeah, but like at the same time, he does talk about, I guess, the psychology a lot, but Seth Godin is also not, he doesn't like get into specifics like day to day what works for him. And and part of that is because he's not really a business either. He's somebody who
he's a marketer.
Makes his living. He makes his living doing these talks and advising, right? He doesn't.
Yeah, but before that, he sold books.
Mm-hmm.
And he made a nice wealth, a nice like thing of, nice what's it called again? Nice little fortune from selling books. That was his first thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think, but what I like about Gary Vee, in addition to Seth Godin, is that because Gary has.
Is it a height thing? Because I know you're a small fellow. You're kind of roughly the same height.
I don't know how tall he is.
He's a tiny man. Have you seen that video? There's a video of Gary Vee where he's like talking really passionately. Sorry to cut you off. I just have to say this. He's talking super passionately. He's like blah blah blah, and this will change the world. This will change your life forever. But the whole time he's doing this. He's rubbing his nipples in a full. I'm not even shitting you. Like obvious, like honest to God, rubbing his nipples in front of 500 people, and I don't think he knows that he's doing it. I think he's like nervous or something. He's just like, you just gotta hustle. You just got, and you're just like, what the fuck? And like, and it's funny because I saw that video a couple times and I never noticed the nipple rubbing. I have to find that nipple rubbing video and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send me the nipple rubbing video.
Yeah. He might have been on coke. That's why he was rubbing his nipple.
I don't know. I mean, he says he doesn't do any drugs or anything.
No, I believe him. I believe him. He doesn't say he doesn't do drugs.
But anyway, what I was saying before the nipple vision popped into your head, is that like he'll actually go into specifics like what he does with his businesses, like where he shares and how often he posts and stuff like that, which I think is like a way more context than say what you'd get from Seth Godin, which Seth Godin's really important, but it's kind of just like he's very high level and it's a bit abstract and you need to kind of apply it. But
Gary Vee is more surface level, and I think
he can tell you things to do like directly.
Yeah,
you know, he's more like Pete and Sam, where they're like, you got to make the mailing list, you got to have your Patreon, you got to blah blah blah.
Yeah.
He does a bit of that too, you know, because he does run businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just like the amount of like the way he says that every company in 2020 is basically a media company, and that you need to post as such. You know, you need to be posting as much as you possibly can. And I just know, just like maybe it's just the pace of being in a Patreon, and it's like a competitive space.
Wow,
it's like on the daily. It's like
you're a prime example. By the way,
it's not like Kickstarter where you're only promoting once, you know, a year or whatever it is.
Well, no, I mean by the posting on your your Instagram, like you have over 1,000 followers, right?
Yeah, and you got to post every day, and you got to post, and it's nice if you can post in other places every day too. And sometimes you post and you get positive feedback. Sometimes you post, you get no feedback, and sometimes you post and somebody says something snarky. And that's when it's like you can kind of get demoralized, even though they're total strangers who don't know you at all and could be just in a grumpy mood. But it's like, you know, you can't let that affect you and you need to just post.
Well, sounds like somebody read a mean comment.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
No. Actually, well, I mean, they come and go, but it wasn't. That's not why I'm bringing this up. Why I'm bringing this up is because I watched one of his videos and he was like so passionate about that topic, that specific topic, and he was saying you can't give a shit. You have to keep posting, and and he was saying that like if anybody writes a snarky comment about you posting too much, just like CC me and I'll come in and shout that motherfucker down, you know, because he's just like so passionate about posting every day. It's really the only way to engage. And how like marketing, advertising is like kind of the Wild West right now. And what used to work, like the expensive way, doesn't really work at all.
Yeah.
And you really need to kind of almost go viral in some way. You kind of need to just use social media, like just use the tools you have. And
I agree with all that, dude. I really do. Like I said, Gary Vee has a lot of good things. I don't know. I just find him annoying, so I can't listen to him too much.
That's fair. I mean, people will probably say that about us too.
Oh,
or anybody.
Most definitely. Especially the bumbling idiot right here. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. Should be more nicer about myself. I'm not a bumbling idiot. I'm a successful businessman.
Yeah, so I started posting on TikTok recently to just try.
Oh yeah, I saw that. How's that going?
I mean, there's only 2 videos up there. It's mostly, Sam's been kind of figuring it out. And
you gotta do the dance. You gotta
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, like, well, I don't want to use it. What I don't want to do is copy what other people are doing. I don't think that would work at all.
You have to dress up as a teenage boy and do a TikTok dance.
What I like about TikTok that I didn't realize I liked about it is when I make these characters, I always have a song in mind. Like I'm usually inspired by a Metallica song, an Iron Maiden song, Queensryche song, something like that, Megadeth song. Mm-hmm. Usually one that really like kind of I feel is the theme for the whole process that I always go back to and listen to keep me on target. And what's cool about TikTok is, since it's like it's a social media app that's like paired with music, is you can actually, you know, pick the song that's inspiring you at the time and put something together for that music. So like, whereas if I'm posting on anywhere else, my website, Instagram, what have you, it's like kind of disingenuous for me to just like slap a Metallica song in there, because it's like I'm kind of promoting using this unlicensed music, right? But on TikTok,
I think it's a little different.
I'm pretty sure it's, I mean, unless you are, maybe there's some like rule about like 8 seconds or something like that.
There's plenty of fucking people that post on Instagram and have songs and stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, but are they people or are they businesses? Because I think
you can. What's the difference between someone that's just like an influencer, right? Those just people that are, you know, that are just like Instagram famous, that use fucking videos or like a meme page, right? Where people just have like, that's actually that's just a business, but if they just do memes and they have, you know, music and stuff like that, they totally get copyrighted for that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
feel like there's something weird about if you have a brand and then putting somebody else's brand on your brand without talking to them. There's this disassociation, and I don't know, like it could be that. So I'm sure. So like when think about the volume of people creating this content, right? That for the most part are not really doing anything with it. They're just posting and sharing. Like there's so much of that happening that no one's ever going to, like Metallica, you know, even though they're the Napster guys, bad guys, they're not going to follow up with every tiny little person. But if somebody breaks through and gets noticed and, you know, becomes more of like a standalone brand,
I hate to break it to you.
They're more of a target for that.
Hate to break it to you, but you're in the miniature industry. And even the biggest miniature people are still, you know, little tiny specks compared to certain people on YouTube, individuals on YouTube.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying I'm not a tiny speck, but I'm saying you're not going to, like, if you someday I hope to not be a tiny speck.
Yeah, but even if you're not a tiny speck in the field of what we're doing right now, it still would be a fraction, not even a fraction of like other people around the world, you know what I mean, in their fields.
I'm just there's like a set of rules that I've like agreed in my head to play by. And some of those are like not putting branded media, other people's brands inside of my brand.
Why did you but then why are you putting music on TikTok then with your brand?
Well, so that's because that's like I don't know. I don't know how. I mean, it's built into the app, right? So there's like an assumption of licenses. Well, I mean, so it's into the app to the point where if there was something illegal about it, TikTok is big enough that like they would be sued by now, don't you think?
I don't know. Maybe they can't because they're still a Chinese company. I have no idea. I think you're worrying about it too much.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I am, but it seems like, I don't know. There's some kind of pathological sense in my head as to when you should and shouldn't use somebody else's brand and attach it to your brand.
Don't use any other people's stuff at all if you're going to have that.
Well, I don't. I really don't.
But you just said you're going to be using Metallica stuff. You just said use Metallica music.
Yeah, on TikTok. Just on TikTok. I mean, you can't post on TikTok without selecting music, right?
That makes no sense. How did no one? Can't someone be like, "Hey, TikTok, you can't use my music"?
It could be that they. I was wondering about this too. It might not be at the artist level. It could be at the label level. So maybe like Virgin Records has a you know a unique deal with TikTok, sort of like Spotify, right?
I see.
And like Amazon Music, right? Like there's some bands you won't be able to find on there because they don't fall under those big large banners of like the music industry. So anyway,
Yeah.
So that's why I like TikTok, because well, I'll just say this then, because since I don't know the legalities of anything, it's a guilt-free place for me to attach the Metallica music that inspires me to my work.
Okay.
It's at the very least that, where I don't feel like I'm, I don't know.
Just it's weird. I don't listen to all the music I used to listen to when I was a teenager.
Oh yeah.
I might come and visit it here and there, but for the most part, I'm just like, I listened to this already like so much when I was younger.
I'm listening to different songs, like different style of songs that I used to like, of artists I used to like. I'll listen to the secondary songs that I thought weren't as good, and now I guess I grew up and I don't know, it's just taste evolved, and you're like, oh, this song that I didn't really care for when I was younger is actually really awesome.
The way I used to listen to music was literally albums. Like I would buy the digital album, and I would just listen straight through over and over again.
Yeah.
So I got like a taste of like the whole kind of piece. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I didn't really listen to Metallica in that way. I listened to like Nirvana in that way.
Dude, fucking Kill 'Em All straight through the album. That's a great album. Like the way it's paced is really good. I really like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is good.
You know why they named that album Kill 'Em All, right?
No, I don't.
It's because they were everybody hated them. And they got kind of essentially like kicked out of like Los Angeles or like Hollywood or whatever, where they were like kind of performing and whatnot, because at the time it was all hair glam metal, big hair, lipstick, men, and women's clothes and stuff like that. And they had like, leather jackets with Nike shoes, right? And tight jeans. And so they got essentially, the only way they could like play their music, they had to like go to like dive bars in where was it? It was like not Seattle, but what's that one place that's attached to LA? Fucking what's it called again? Super progressive.
In LA?
In Los Angeles.
LA is a city.
Yeah, but Los Angeles is a giant thing. There's like a whole bunch of giant cities in LA. No,
LA is a city. California is the state.
California. I meant California. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's in California. Anyways, it doesn't fucking matter. Anyways, they named it Kill 'Em All because nobody liked them, and so they're like, we're gonna make this album that's just gonna destroy everybody, and it's gonna make us, it's just like we're just, we're like relentless in their music and relentless in their way who they were or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyways,
well, Chael Sonnen once said, people will love you tomorrow for the things they hate you for today, because he's like a heel and he kind of always piss people off.
Yeah,
and it kind of applies to Metallica and probably a lot of things, like a lot of who was saying, fuck, I've been listening to so much YouTube lately that like Gone with the Wind or something was just like nah, kind of when it came out, like most of these blockbusters, I guess maybe not.
Dude, Shawshank Redemption. You've seen that movie, right?
The Shawshank Redemption for sure. Yeah, I love that movie. Yeah,
I thought Shawshank Redemption, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Anyways, when that movie came out, it did terrible. Everybody hated it. They were like, whatever, just didn't do it. And like that movie is a fucking it's one of the.
It's a masterpiece movie.
It's one of the best storytell-driven films ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's just so much to that movie that I loved. I remember watching it so many times on the CBC. That's the free station because you couldn't afford cable. The CBC. They only like played it at least like 5 times a year, and I would watch it every time. I loved it so many times.
Yeah, that's kind of a lost era when like you'd watch like free movies would come to TV, some of them, not all of them.
Yeah,
and then you'd watch them over and over again, like Forrest Gump and like Shawshank Redemption and stuff. But now I don't know where that.
You're on demand. We can watch them anytime we want, dog.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then
As
sometimes
long as you're subscribed to Netflix.
Yeah, I actually just got Netflix yesterday. No, 2 days ago. I just got it because there's a bunch of stuff on there I want to watch and I can't rent it. I usually rent movies off YouTube. But all these movies I want to rent are all, you have to buy them. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
But Netflix has them all. So I'm going to try for the next 30 days here. I'm going to try to watch all the ones I want to watch and then cancel.
Yeah, do it. That's usually why you can't rent them, is because some subscription service has the license to them at the time. Yeah, so then you can't actually
rent them out.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. For sure.
Yeah.
Dude, fucking summer is fucking done.
Yeah, pretty much. I kind of, summer was pretty intense. My room is like a little greenhouse. It's facing the east, so the sun rises and then it's just a sauna in my room till about 2 p.m. Every day. And I'm usually in my room at that time, so it's pretty sweaty endeavor. I'm ready for it to wind down a little bit. I still appreciate the sun and being able to go outside and stuff, but it's just too hot. It's just been way too hot.
Fuck, I got 3 months to try to finish all my goddamn models.
Do it, man.
I hope so.
I think you can. I think you can do it. I think you can be twice as productive as you are right now, not knowing anything about how productive you're being at the moment.
I think you're right. But there was just the past couple of days was a lot of troubleshooting. It was troubleshooting some stuff and fixing things and other busy work that has to be done. What I want to try to do is I want to get all the modeling done, and then because I have to go back home to Saskatchewan for the family and whatnot for the holidays and see them. And so in my head, what I think would be smart is get all the modeling done, right? Everything's done. All the core models are done. All the stretch goals are done, and all the promo models are done. And then a month of just refining the Kickstarter page, taking renders, doing the stretch goal page, all that jazz. You know what I mean? All that stuff. And then I have to shoot the video once I come back after the holidays and stuff like that, and set up promotion stuff and all that jazz. So hopefully that works out. Who knows? Maybe I'll be able to, if everything goes according to plan, everything goes smoothly, rather.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll release it on February instead of March. Who knows?
That would be good. I think if you can condense that at all, it'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yes. That's cool, man.
But yeah, so that's the idea. I because I don't want to be doing this type of modeling and sculpting on my little tiny fucking laptop, because it would be infuriating. So I'm so that's the reason why. I was downtown, had to wait for a little bit, and I brought my laptop with me, and I was trying to do some modeling on there, and I definitely did some modeling, but my productivity was such low yield. It's you're condensed with this. You can't kind of relax out and kind of position yourself and stuff. You have to go like this, and you're kind of just looking at the laptop. And stuff. It's annoying.
Yeah. Some people do a lot of work out at coffee shops, but I guess it's just not meant for modelers. It's meant to be.
If I had to travel and work, that would suck. But I don't know. Maybe you get used to it and you figure out a way to kind of, have everything set up rather.
Well, apparently, on the iPad Pros, you can get ZBrush on there somehow. And
Yeah.
I don't know if that would be pretty good, but I know that
I like
as a yeah. Well, you can get keyboards too.
That's true. Well, the thing is like that all that's great. It's like, oh, it's all portable and stuff like that. That's great, but it's like,
yeah,
like 2 monitors is the fucking shit.
Yeah.
One of the best advices or best investments is buy a secondary monitor. For like, it doesn't have to be a good one. It just has to be like more space to like throw stuff up. That's one of the probably the best things I ever bought for my setup. Besides a more powerful computer and stuff like that, but but just having more real estate to like move stuff around and have your reference open and stuff like that. And because I remember,
it's a big deal.
Like these computer screens I have right now, these 2 right here, are bigger than my laptop computer screen. My laptop's computer screen is like just a fucking square. And I remember having reference open, and like the reference was like this small, because I was like trying to model, and I didn't want to take.
Yeah. Well, you might as well put it on your phone at that point and just
that's a good point.
Totally detach it and not have to hide your window.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If I had my ideal setup, like like sometimes at work, I mean, they just throw monitors at you at EA, right? It's like you could have like you have your Cintiq or whatever, and then you have like 3 secondary monitors. But I think what would be better than that is like your Cintiq, and then somehow have a one of those like really extra wide, curvy, big, wide ones.
Yeah.
Widescreen monitors.
Yes.
Does he have one of those?
He has a beast of a fucking monitor. Yeah. Curves and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. I think that'd be sweet because, like, yeah, you're right. Your secondary monitor is really for reference or whatever, and you don't need. It's like it's annoying to like have all these like frames like monitor like in the way. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, like having your email open or whatever. Like if you're waiting for a certain message to come in or or call or whatever, it's just nice to have. It's just a good thing to have.
Yeah. So
you started the mailing list?
Huh? No, not yet.
You're a piece of shit.
Yeah, sorry. I ought to though. I ought to do it. I'm gonna work on that. Right now I'm working on
I just found a video on YouTube. The video was like literally like how to make a mailing list in MailChimp 2020.
Okay.
So, and it's like 40 minutes long, and I didn't even watch the whole thing. I just got all the stuff I needed to get.
No, I think I really should do it. There's just a couple side quests I'm wrapping up right now. Like, there's like your release every month that you need to do. And then there's things on the side that you also need to do sometimes. Like maybe it's
I also
update your website or whatever.
Forget that you have a full-time job.
Yeah, so there's that too. That really gets in the way.
Just fucking do it,
Yeah. Well, I do the same to you. I'm like, you've got all this time. What the fuck? Why does it take you so long to model all this shit? That's how I feel on the other side.
You know what it is, man? It's just I've never done anything like this before. Like the models I'm making, they're so different, and it's been a lot of troubleshooting because the other campaign, I was just kind of slipping things in. It was just kind of like, oh, you put this thing in here, you put this thing in here. But this, I'm dealing with clips, right? And so depending on the model, if you model a certain way, and it has to interact with the clip, sometimes what happens is it like kind of warps and it doesn't want to line up properly. Like on this guy here, on this piece right here, this bottom piece, like this is a separate piece. Fuck, it's hard to get out. But anyways, before there was a big like gap here, and I had to like print it. I had to like make 3 different versions until I got to a version where it like lined up properly. Like it was like more flush. Like there's still a little bit of a gap, but I think that's the closest I'm gonna get it. And there's just like things like that. You you just run into where you're like, oh, I didn't know this was a problem. Now I have to like kind of design, take some time and 3D print stuff and design around it, right? And it's just a completely different animal, right? With using a clip system instead of just having like, this thing just kind of sits snugly in this thing. You know what I mean? You have a clip system. You know, like before, like last week, I had to like, you know, redesign a bunch of stuff on the models because I didn't want a bunch of seams. And so I hid the seams, or I made the seams like a part of the piece. You know, that took a bunch of time. But doing all of that, now I have a better structure, and now I know what to do, and so I don't run into this problem, right? And so now I feel more secure, and I have a little more faith in the product where it's like, okay, I know I solved this problem. Now I know going through, if problem comes up again, or what do I have to do for this piece, I know what to do. So it's been, it's just been challenging. It's just a completely different thing. And also, like, I'm ZBrushing everything. Like, I'm making stuff destroyed a bit. There's like cracks, and there's rubble, and there's like edges that are fucked up and stuff like that. And there's like these skeleton faces, and the skeleton faces have to be printed, you know, with no supports, right? And there's just so much more different, like, intricate little tiny stuff in this project. Like before, I was just like, you know, I talked about this when we were hanging out, where I'm making this fantasy stuff, and there's a part of me that's like, oh, you should stop and do sci-fi stuff because it's easier, and you could pump these out pretty quick. And it's just like, no, I can't. I'm in too deep. I can't go back. And also, I want to do this because it's something new and different, and I want to have that skill to be, you know, to be able to do both sci-fi and fantasy stuff. So yeah, that's the way I see it, and why it's taking a lot longer. And no, I agree with you. It is taking a lot longer because I'm just, you know, it's just a completely different beast, and there's just so much more work involved.
Yeah. I know if I was making a sci-fi character, it would take me a lot longer as well. Like last time I tried, I never finished because it was just taking too long. Just like, maybe it's just the way I'm
talking fantasy. I'm talking.
I know, I'm the opposite of you. Like, my comfort zone is the fantasy stuff, and then my zone of discomfort is the sci-fi techie stuff. And you know, characters are different than environment pieces, but I know what you mean. Like, you're kind of modeling uphill. It feels like something like that. So yeah, but anyway, maybe if you do a Patreon or something someday, I think sci-fi would be the way to go, because you have to model every month. You have to make something every month, and sometimes you're going to run out of time, and you're going to want to lean on your strengths to just like get you through and get something out.
Well,
so if you ever do that,
I'm going to do a Patreon, but the Patreon is literally just going to have one tier, and it's just going to be a seller tier. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a place for people to subscribe to sell my work.
Oh, really?
That's it. Yeah.
Why don't you want anyone to just download your work and print it?
Because then I have to deal with what you're dealing with every month.
You just want a low pressure.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe I might retire the business model of Kickstarters, where I'm like, okay, I'm done doing the Kickstarters because they just take so much out of me. But at the moment, I like doing the Kickstarters, even though it is stressful. But I just feel, for what I want to accomplish, I just think it works for me right now.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Kickstarter is, if you're going to do just one, I think you're on the right path. I think doing Kickstarter is a better way to go.
Yeah, but I want to mention something. Remember we were talking about worm life No, we were talking about worm life, or wormwood rather.
Yeah, the guys that make the like dice
the cool,
cases out of
all
beautiful
that
wood.
stuff. Anyways, I started following them again,
Mm-hmm.
and they recently just launched a Kickstarter for gaming tables. You know, the ones that like, you can like remove the top and then it's just like, you know,
you put slide a TV in there
if you want, yeah.
or
you
it's
could
like
there's just a secondary level where there's like 2
that's
inches.
right, yeah. So everyone's looking kind of down into the dungeon or whatever.
Yeah, and then like pieces don't fall off on the ground or anything, you know. Anyways,
yeah.
They did that. They did that Kickstarter, and they raised over 10 million Canadian dollars.
Get out of here! That's crazy.
Insane.
Yeah, they need it though. I mean, tables are got to be like to ship a table to somebody. Like, are you kidding me? That's crazy.
Yeah. They're shipping themselves too.
Yeah. So, well, they've got a big warehouse, so they can house. I'm sure
they got big warehouse, but they also just purchased a company as well. Have you ever heard of Keystone? You ever heard of that? Keystone? They do furniture and stuff, and I remember hearing that. I remember hearing Keystone a long time ago when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, Keystone, what the hell is that? And then I was watching these little vlogs, and they're like, oh, we're purchasing Keystone. I'm like, oh, I've heard of this before. And it was it's a furniture company in where is it again? In Nebraska, I think. I can't remember. But anyways, I was getting annoyed with worm life or wormwood vlogs or whatever.
Really?
Before, because of certain people that were always on camera. But I was wondering, like, okay, why did I even follow this to start with? and it's the CEO, Doug, that's the CEO, but also like the people around him that are like kind of like, you know, the business brains and stuff like that. They film and vlog and they talk about their products and their process and also their dilemmas, and they talk about like, what's the solution we could do? What's this thing that we're trying to do to make their product interesting and also like feasible, and like just the like, I don't know, just like some of the stuff that's not that interesting that I find super interesting, where they talk about a problem that they had on Kickstarter, or they had to talk about a problem with another company they're working with or whatever, and they solve the problem, and it's like, ooh, that's interesting. I like seeing kind of like how they handle themselves, because they're in the gaming world, right?
Yeah.
But they're dealing with you know wooden products that are like handcrafted and are really nice and stuff.
Yeah.
But,
there's not a lot of, when you go to, I mean, I see them at conventions and I've kind of seen them grown. Just I haven't been like watching clearly as like intensely as you. I don't know any of the personalities that are involved in like the creation process of this stuff, but I have been to like many like shows. You know, they're usually at PAX, and I've been to PAX like I don't know how many times, and I always see them there. And each time their booth is a little bit bigger and their products are a little bit more ambitious. And this year I did see those tables you were talking about. Now that I think about it, I'm like, because usually they have a square booth with dice all around it and like trays and whatever wooden.
Well, no, these tables are different. These tables are different. They're like low end, not low end tables, but they're cheaper tables. So they're making these tables.
The ones I saw were like kind of like large poker tables, like larger than somewhere between the size of a poker table and a pool table.
That's for like $10,000 tables, but they're making tables that are literally cheap. I think their cheapest table is like less than $700. I think it's like $6 something. It's like a smaller table, and they have like coffee table sizes, and they have like, you know, from that like bigger and bigger and bigger versions. So they have all these different versions.
You know their product line. It's great.
Well, yeah, I've been watching the videos.
Yeah.
It's just kind of fascinating to see these people, like, you know, go through their trials and tribulations. And also during COVID as well, they were showing off they were like showing what they were doing and how they're dealing with the situation and whatnot.
Yeah.
I just think it's just fascinating, and actually kind of I know it is entertaining, but if you actually listen to what they're talking about and how they're trying to solve their certain problems and stuff like that, I think it's a valid information. And I know it's kind of like almost documentary-ish. You know what I mean? But
dude, it looks pretty cool. Just watching their, I was like, oh, this is going to be a link in the show description today. So I went to their website, and the table looks pretty. Their website's great, man. Oh, yeah. I need a fucking website like these guys got. Because as soon as you click on it, and maybe I will. Fuck.
Nah, who gives a fuck?
All right, fuck it.
Not like we're gonna buy a fucking table anytime soon, but to be honest, I would really like one of their fucking tables. They're super nice.
well, they like show you that, hey, our tables are also dinner tables, and you and your wife can agree that this is great and a worthy purchase. Yeah.
And they have these like cup holders and like little trays that you can just slide in around the edges and also inside the edges as well.
Yeah.
A bunch of jazz, a bunch of awesomeness.
Yeah.
But anyways,
what time is it? Oh yeah. That's it.
That's it. What are you doing for this week? Make it quick.
Yeah, what am I doing? I don't know. So much is going on. I've still got a lot of work to do. I'm trying to get a head start on the release, but that always, turns into me finishing it kind of the last couple days. I don't know. There's some stuff that I don't know. I guess nothing is. There's some things next week I'll announce things because it's just not done yet. So I don't want to pre-announce anything that doesn't happen.
All right.
I don't know. Just work as usual. Just stop by Tiger Skull RPG on Patreon.
I can't talk about what
Instagram, and that's the show. See you next week. Bye. Just kidding. What do you got going on?
I want to close it right now. No. I got to get my spiral staircase finished. And I wanted to get some more printing done. And spiral staircase done. And I want to get a bunch of 3D printing done and painting done. And then get the next model prepped and ready for next week. That's what I want to do this whole week. And that's what I'm going to get done this whole week. So
you should post on Instagram too.
No shit.
You should post on Facebook too.
I don't have a Facebook. Can't make an account, remember?
Yeah, that was a year ago when we first chatted about this.
Yeah, I know. It's such a fucking hassle, man. I would have to literally try to get a hold of somebody on Facebook and then get people like you, my friends, to like vouch for me to say like, this person actually exists. It's not a spam account. Please unblock him.
Oh yeah.
And I've like sent so many emails. There was like a week I literally sent an email every day. No response. Absolutely just nothing. So
that sucks. That's too bad.
So I'm just like, you know what? Instagram and also Reddit and
Reddit's a big deal.
My Thingiverse and my Unity factory is growing. I'm up over 320 followers. Hopefully more once my new model just got approved for my mini factory. So hopefully that garners a couple more followers. And so those are helpful. Those are working. I'm sure Facebook I would kill it at Facebook. Yeah.
The other thing Gary Vee says every YouTube video I watch says post on LinkedIn. That's what he says. He says it's underused social media. Just thought I would ruin your day by saying that.
because I hate LinkedIn.
Because you deleted it. If you go back to episode 12 or something, we chatted about that. Call back.
Episode 12. I'm right. You're wrong. LinkedIn's stupid.
Yeah.
Right,
I don't post on LinkedIn.
Of course you don't. But anyways, yeah, that's the show. You can find me you can find me at Forbidden Prince. Just fucking Google it. Figure it out, goddammit. I got work to do, goddammit.
All one word. Forbidden
Anyways.
Prince.
Bye.
All right. Ciao. Have a good one.